And then, okay, let's go to the tips directly. Just like what I say, this is a very short presentation from me. Okay, my first tips, if we wanted to do the interview, especially from interview with the users or the recruiters for the first time. Oh, what is it? No money written back. Yes, it's correct. No money written. There's no money here. Okay, okay. Let's go back. Okay, when you did some interview with the recruiters, I have some tips that you need to do and that you can follow actually. First is pretend you are meeting in person, so you need to come early and put some clothes. This is weird, right? Put some clothes. Turns out there were some people that they are not dressed properly. Many of the interview that I did is not require us to open the camera, but when they are asking us to open our camera, turns out we did not put any clothes, and and they will they will look at us, and then they will think that, oh, this case is very rude, even if this is not a formal one, but please put some clothes and come early, do not be late. This will be bad image for you if you are coming late. I have experience in it by coming late. This is me that comes late, and the recruiter. I have experience the recruiter comes late too, and it's not didn't it's not running well actually the interview, because we only have 30 minutes and the recruiter comes 5 minutes late, or it is me who came late for maybe 5 or 3 minutes, and the recruiter face or the user face is already, they have a really disappointed face in their face. So don't do that. Please come early and put some clothes and blur your backgrounds if you need to. Don't let anything the background disturb the user or the recruiters. And then prepare your device and surroundings. Don't forget to always check your camera, even if they are not required you to open your cams, but please check it in case they wanted to see your face. Check your microphone. Don't forget, if it is broken, directly ask for another schedule, or you can ask for a reschedule for the interview, because a broken microphone can ruin your interview actually. They cannot hear you clearly, and they usually, if this is for remote position, if your devices is not proper, they will disappointed actually, because as a remote worker, camera and microphone is really important for us for talking. So if you are not prepared it, they will disappointed at the first place. And look for a quiet place. I have some bad experience with this too. I have an interview with some company, and then I need to accompany my sons playing in the playground, and the sounds is very very bad, because there were a lot of children screaming, etc. And they finally asked me to reschedule the interview. It's not just look for a quiet place, and anywhere is okay. Even if you need to go to the bathroom, is okay, as long as it is quiet. And then the third is read the requirements carefully. uh, Many recruiter or the users usually ask you if you are really apply by after comparing the requirements with your skills. I have some good and bad experience about this too, but mostly now I read it carefully, and then we can talk about the requirements and the skills when we are doing the interview. They will feel that you really are responsible, because you are really understand about the requirements, and you can match when being interviewed. You can match your skills and the requirements that they are posted. It will be a plus for them, and they will think that you really read the requirements, and you really think before you are applying, not just bombing the requirement page, the recruitment page, sorry. and then listen carefully what the user sayings. So usually when we are doing the interview, the recruiter or the users will explain to us about what we are going to do in this interview, right? So they will explain how many minutes that we have, if they wanted us to introduce ourselves, and then after we are introducing ourselves, they wanted us to do what, and then after that to do what, and they will give us that explanation first usually. So listen to it carefully and make sure you are following that order. Many many user forget um, many of us forget about it, because for example I have some cases that the interviewer asked me first, the interviewer explained to me that in this interview they wanted me to explain myself, to introduce myself, explain to me about all of my experience about the technology stack that I use, and then they wanted me to highlight all of the project that I did, that I am proud of. It can be any project from any company that I've been working for, and then after that they wanted me to explain to them about what I could do, what I could bring to the company with all of that experience. And then after that he will explain about the companies, and then he will explain about the roles, about the employment. After that we have the project that you've been doing, that you are proud of. You are not explaining about what you could bring for our company, and then the interview is failed. So listen carefully about what the user is saying. Then if you need to take notes on that, don't ever miss it. And then about the time, usually the recruiter or the user already giving us some times to talk. So don't talk too much or don't talk too little. But sometimes if the
Mas Habibie, Mas
hey,
Habibie, can you give us an example about the achievements or the projects that you've done so we know how to answer it correctly?
oh, of course, we will do that after. Uh, can I, should I do it now, or should I
Oh,
just?
okay, we can do it later. It's fine.
Okay, let me finish the tips first, and then I will give you the examples. Okay, okay. Continue. Let's continue. Uh, Please mind about the time. Please mind about the time. Don't talk too long, or don't talk too fast, or don't talk too short. Just take your time. Take your time. Okay, and then be confident. Remember, you need to face your nervousness. Take a deep breath, or do whatever you must in order to face your nervousness. Do not speak. Uh, do not speak when you are nervous, and build confidence. It's okay. English. I know they are understanding that English is not our main language. It is our second language. So it's okay. Be confident, and then speak clearly. Usually when we are interviewed in the another language, we are not speak clearly. It's okay if you are speak slow, but make sure it is clear. Make sure that your pronunciation is good. Make sure that he or she is understand about what you are saying. If it is not, even if it is not right, I mean, your pronunciation is bad, maybe, or your grammar is not really good. It's okay as long as they are understand. And speak structured. I mean, do not talk from A to C or E or B, etc. Do not talk like that. Speak in a structure. say like you are like when you are telling a stories, you start from A and then going to B, going to C, going to D, etc. And then the last tips from me is look at your interlocutors sometimes. Look at your camera and see his face. He or see, look at his or her face. You know, look at her face to make you understand that, oh, I think he is understanding what I'm saying or he is listening to me. Sometimes I'm facing a recruiter that actually not really really in the interview. You know, his face her face is in there, but he's doing another like chatting or something. If we are facing that recruiter, I don't think it will be good if we are continue the interview. So don't talk too much when we are facing that interviewer. Or if you see that the interlocutors is looks confused, you can ask for some clarifications from that. Okay, from Thoughts Disease, I already have one questions about how we are we going to highlight the project that we did. Is that correct? Is that the questions?
Yes, yes.
All right. So usually I'm using this when um, the interviewer asking me about, please introduce yourself. Please show me your experience. Tell me about your experience. Tell me about all of the technology stack that you have been using. I usually telling them the story start from when I first working, and then I tell them that in this company I do this and that. After that, I'm highlighting the project that I'm proud of in that company. For example, if in the company A, I'm building some mm, I'm building some application that need to integrate publisher and subscriber, and I need to use some new technology that I never used of before. And so I highlight it to them. I said to them that in these projects, there were some requirements that needs me to use Apache Kafka or Docker and Kubernetes too. This is my first time doing this. I never touched this technology before, and then I need to research about it, give and then make some little project with it, and then give some document about what I'm learning, and then sharing it to all of my friends, and so that we can create the demo together. And then after that, I said blah 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 about this technology, and then I said to them, then I finally successful the result of my results, and the result of this research that I did, and the sharing list that I did to my friends. We successfully get the job. We win the tenders, and the project have a value until 100 millions maybe. That's why I'm proud of. That's the project that I'm proud of. I say something like that usually, and then moving to another company, and then I explain about the company a little, and then what I did in there, what my roles in there, and then what project I did, mostly in what project in that I did in that company. And then after that, I'm highlighting again which project that I am most proud of, why I'm proud of this project, what kind of technology that I implement in this, etc. Yeah, just say something like that. They will understand, I think. Is that clear that what I am talking?
Yes, thank you, thank you. Okay, so maybe I discovered one nice tip that I recently tried. So about the making look at your interlocutor sometimes. So it's about making eye contact. So
Yes.
I found out is that uh, okay, for example, I have like a screen right in front of me, and then my webcam is right here. I'm touching my webcam right now. So you can put your okay. It also depends on where do you usually look on your screen. So I usually look at myself on my screen, which is kind of weird, right? Everyone will have different behaviors. So because I look at myself on the screen, I put my window up near the webcam. Okay. So when I look at myself, it will look like I'm looking at the camera. So I make like very clean eye contact that way, especially with Zoom, right? Because you can drag around the window. It's very helpful.
Mm, that's nice advice. You can do that
So
too, actually.
yeah, yeah. About Google Meet, I don't think you can, unfortunately, because it's a web tab, right? So yeah, thank you for the explanation, Mas Wibi. Very clear. And now is the time to discussion, right?
Okay, there were some
Okay.
questions. This Mas
Mm-hmm.
Rico Fernando, should we explain about our education? No, you don't need to explain about education, especially if you are being interviewed by a company from abroad, company from not from Indonesia, you know. Many of that company is not. They didn't care if you have a bachelor or something. They just need to listen to your experiences, actually. And then there was someone who raised hands.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, please continue.
Hello, Mas Rizaldi and Mas Rifki. I wanted to ask the first question: how do you maintain the confidence during the interview? Because sometimes when I did my interview, I usually, pacing a lot, talk too fast, and suddenly, the discussion become not very well structured, and that's one of my point that I wanted to improve. And the second question will be, do you memorize the script or you just let it flow during the discussion, like in the interview? Thank you.
Okay, for the first question, I think in order for us to be able to face our nervousness and to improve our confidence is you need to train a lot actually. You need to talk a lot. Even if it is not with interviewer, maybe you can talk to your friends or talk to your family or talk to yourself actually. You can do that. And to make your in order for you to makes the conversation makes more easier and well structured, please follow your CV actually. Explain by your CV. You know, you give your CV to them, so explain it from that. So it will be more well structured because you will explain it start from the first time you are working and what you did in there, and then why you are going and when why you are moving to another company, and then you explain to the second company what you did in there, move to the third company what you did in there, like that. It will make your conversation more well structured. And what is the second question actually? I'm sorry.
The second question is, do you memorize the script or you just let it flow during the
Oh,
discussion? Yeah.
uh, uh, I never memorize the script actually, so just let it flow. In order for us to be able to use this methodologies, let it flow without using script is by you need to train it yourself every day actually. Please talk to yourself more often. Talk to yourself. Try to explain to yourself. You read your own CV and then you talk to yourself. Hey, my name is Wildan, and then this I have many years experience in these industries, and then I've been working with this company. In this company I did this, I did that, I'm using this technology stack, I'm using this in this company. Achieve the most achievement that I've been proud of is I did this, I did that, like that. Try to talk to yourself more often, and then you will get used to it.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, there's no shortcuts. You have to practice, and with practice comes confidence. So that's what I believe. So maybe for the second question, they memorize the script. Um, I would say it's better to have a guide, like a structure. right? And then but it has to be extremely basic, and then you just follow, the kerangka, you know, and that's it. I think it's helpful. So yeah, moving to the next question. Oh, what is the success factor of the user interview? I don't see the point directly on the PowerPoint.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
correct.
Let
I
me explain it. Okay, let me explain it. Usually, if we try to get a mock interview, uh, and take a course or two, they will explain about what is the success factor and how to uh, get the confidence and answering everything correctly and precise. Okay, so I don't see that. Yeah, it seems like this is the tips, but not directly guiding us into how to win the interview phase. So could you explain to us what is the success factor, what is the biggest to the lowest, and what should we prepare for that, so that whatever interview process we have, we will confidently do the process better.
okay.
Okay.
Yes, you can see at my first slide actually, there is no guarantees, just like what I said. And for the mock interview, we are going to do that after this question sessions. And but I can say something like this. I have done so many interviews actually. Many of them is good, some of them is bad. But even the good one doesn't guarantee me to success, and they are passing me to the next interview actually. Many of them said that, oh, you are good. You can understand about what we are talking, and you can speak clearly. You can understand what we are asking you to do. And from me, it is positive. They said like that, but I never heard about. I never heard from them after that. So there is no guarantee actually. Unfortunately, you can say that. But so that's what I did in here is to make sure that whatever the result is, you did good. You did the interview good. You are not uh, you you are not nervous. You are not shy. You can speak clearly. So whatever the result is, you did the interview good. That's the point of this and this sharing session. Actually, I'm so sorry.
Uh, I got an interview from a company in Spain. His accent was very thick, the Spanish accent. He said that, oh, you did the intro very good. And then I never heard from them again. So, okay. I hope that answers the question. So, do you guys have any more questions? I think we will make this the last question before we go into the mock interview.
Mas Agus have another question. Will a course of acing a mock interview help? From what I know and from what I understand, even if you paid someone to do the mock interview with you, they cannot guarantee you pass the interview. That's the harsh truth, but the point of the mock interview is to boost your confidence, boost your to tackle your nervousness, to make your speaking is more you to make your to make you speaking more well structured. Only that, but they still not guarantee that you will able to pass actually.
uh, just some addition to what you have explained. Does it mean that you are trying to emphasize that it will only give us more exercise to be more confident, right?
Yes, yes. So the point of this sharing session is actually we have a plan for this group in which we need to boost all of our English capabilities actually. So in order to do that, this is just an opening. This is just of an opening for everybody. So you all of you will realize which part of the English skills that you need to improve. This is the first, and then that is because many of us has done some interview with someone with foreigner, right? And most of them, I'm pretty sure, maybe Mas Rifki has experience talking to them too. That I just many of the foreigner said that our English is not that good, you know. Even when we are explaining ourselves, just short introduction, we go bad, you know. And that's very sad because short introduction is only 5 minutes, only at maximum it is 10 minutes if you wanted to explain yourself. But if we felt on that, we don't get a chance to do the technical or to do the next steps. So that's
View is very short, but the impact is very big.
yes, that's the point. That's the point of this. That's why let's do the mock interview. If anyone wants to do the interview with me, please share your CV. And let's start with the short introduction about yourself. And we will see, and we will give some advices about the interview, about how you talk, about how you explain yourself. Is there anyone here? Want to try? Oh, Sadir, you can send it in this chat, or you can send it to my. Just send it in this chat. We can do this, right? We can share document in here, right?
No, I think if you want to send on the chat, it has to be a link, not a file.
Oh, I see. So just
Yeah.
sends to the group in English. It's okay.
Maybe on the WhatsApp, on the group, or
Yes,
you
in English,
send the,
English group, in our English group in WhatsApp, in
by the
our
way,
English group. Mhm.
I'm going to toilet, so yeah, be right back, guys.
Okay. Yes, Mas Salman, you could. About LinkedIn profile. What do you mean about that? Okay. Mas Agus already sends. Wait, let me open it.
If you ask me why I'm so grateful that there is this kind of session, because actually I'm doing some tests for tooling and I pass everything, and I'm waiting for the mock interview. So this is a good chance for me to train actually.
Oh, your, your CV is full of skills. Usually recruiter scares watching this kind of CV. There were a lot of skills. How many experience do you have, Mas
Well,
Agus?
actually, that is the sad reality here in Indonesia. Actually, I want to be a specialist, but cannot do that here in Indonesia. So, developer, yes. System analyst, yes. And then, if you ask me about, do you know about DevOps? Yes.
Yes.
I once handling DevOps for BTP also. If you speak about banking, and you mention about DevOps in banking, then you mention the name BTP, then they will already, wow, that's a high standard already. So if you ask me about skills, there are lots of, but sadly, uh, not the salary. And that's why I'm applying for remote jobs for that. Besides, actually, my English is above the average. I believe that. So that's why I'm taking this mock interview. I need to know how to structure every discussion that I make with the interviewer. Hope I get that in this session.
Okay. So let's just start it then. Let's say that you are applying for a job, for an opportunity that needs 10 years experience using oh, you have 70 years for using Java. Let's say this is a full stack developer opportunity, and you are applying to us. And then let's say I am the recruiter, and then yeah, just let's start it and let's pretend. Hello, Mr. Agus. Thank you for coming to this interview. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you, Mas Rizal.
Mhm. Okay, so are you busy right now, or what are you doing right now? Still
Well,
working?
currently honing my skills for development. Okay,
Mhm,
I know that there are some good concepts that I need to
mhm.
sharpen, and I take my time to do that.
Okay, okay, that's pretty good. So let's just start it then. So in this interview, I wanted to know more and getting deep with all of your experience, all of the project that you already done in your past experience. And after that, I wanted you to highlight all of the project that you've been doing that you are being proud of. Maybe you can, it's not necessarily the biggest project that you did. You can, even if it is small, but you are proud of it, you can say it to us. And then after that, we are going to match the requirements and the skills that you already have. So please give an introduction about you and your experience.
Hello, my name is Agus Kianto. I'm a professional developer, and my latest position is a tech lead in Commonwealth Bank. And about my experience, I have taken several roles, but mostly is as a developer. Let me explain from my first experience. On my early years, doing development process, mostly not much on analysis, so mostly on doing the code. But I will highlight one of the prominent projects that I've ever tackled before. One of it is for an insurance company. Okay, the company's name I Am Care, and I faced a challenge actually in that project. Why there are several stakeholders during the meeting for the UI UX, but they never really agree on the scope of the UI UX design. So at that time, there's already several developers taking the role, and none of them deliver something. And that's the point in which I realized that well, I cannot do the same approach with the other developer. So I just sat down there the whole day and trying to figure out what should I do so that everything could work. And I decided to take a very creative approach. Mostly, UI UX designer is taking on the what the requirement according to their perception. And while I'm seeing that, I take a risk actually. I take a big risk actually. I decided to why not create a kind of WordPress system using PHP, Laravel at that time. And I come approach with that. So I built the WordPress-like system, but with a very different approach. I create several themes. Usually UI UX designer only create for one themes and it's static. I create three with dynamics so they can choose each theme differently, and the themes that they choose is directly reflected on the WordPress alike system. So while doing the presentation, I speak to all the stakeholder and each of them giving their feedback at the right time. So one of the stakeholders says that I want the header using that themes, the first themes. And the other stakeholder says that I don't want that. I want the footer is using the themes from uh, the second themes, for example. So at the end of the discussion, I managed to unify uh, the dispute between the stakeholder just using a different approach. That is my early year doing sound development. Is it pretty clear for my early year?
Mm, not really. Okay, I have some advice from you. You are said that you are working for some insurance company.
Yeah.
Yep, but you are not mention it in your CV.
Well,
You this is in 2015 and 2017. You are working for Camaro Maxima Integra, right?
Yeah,
This is a software as service company, as far as I know.
yeah.
So you could explain that this is a software I'm working in. This is my advice. In 2015 and until 2017, I'm working for Camaro Maxima Integra. This is a software as a service company. In this company, we have a lot of clients, and one of the client is, you can say, AIA. You can say this. You can say the client is A, B, C, D. From the client A, the project is this. The client B, the project is I'm doing this with this client B, and then for another client, I'm doing project C. After that, you can explain what just you said that uh, you are have uh, some idea to build some WordPress like website flexibility system using Laravel, etc. Uh, that's pretty good that you are mentioning that you building something for this intensive Medicare for IAA. Intensive Medicare is different with AIA, right?
Yeah, different, very different.
Mhm. So explain the company first. Explain the company that you've been working. It is what kind of industry that your company is working on, and then after that, explain the projects. That's well structured. So don't jump to the project directly. Don't jump to the client directly because they will confuse. You said you working for intensive Medicare, but this is Camaro. What is Camaro then? They will usually they will confuse.
Yeah,
But if you say to them that if you explain to them about the company first and then the industry, they will have some idea about what kind of place that you are working. And then when after that, if you are explaining to them about the client, they will understand more. So they
yeah.
don't need to ask something.
That's the challenge when you have lots of experience and you have
That's
short.
correct. And then I have a FS again for you, Mas Agus, because you have already 17 years experience. Please mention it first before you are explaining all of your experience. Said I have been working as a developer, a full stack developer, or you can say I've been working for 17 years now in this technology industry. You can say that
Okay.
my first time working is my first time professional because you mentioned a freelance too, right, in your CV.
Yeah. Actually,
And
yeah.
then you put something when you are still in the college too in Bina Nusantara University. You are as working as network administrator, instructional designer. I think we can skip that. Let's and then you can go directly jumps to your experience after that. So you can say something like, I have experience 17 years experience working is this technology industry, and my first professional working with company is with Camaro Maxima Integra. This is a software as a first company, and as a software as a first company, we have a lot of clients and we do a lot of project with them. And one of the projects that I've been part of at the time is when I'm working with intensive Medicare, in which in this project I do something like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like that.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah,
I have
good.
a question for Masakus. I am looking at your resume. It's quite impressive. 17 years. It's almost older than me. So yeah, my question is, do you have any of looking at your certifications and skills? Do you have any like repositories or certifications that is available to the public?
Actually, certification, yes. Actually, for AI, my last one is for AI. It was given by MIT, and it is on LinkedIn actually. I share it also there. But currently, the other problem about repository is that I handle a lot of private companies. Okay, uh, mostly the repository is private also, and I cannot share it to outside world. And I often create my own self private projects, and sadly, I'm not putting it on my own private repository. That is my mistakes. And I realized that after joining with Teman Remote, and I found out that while not creating blogs, actually I'm a proactive person. I love to learn, even to the newest technology. I know what is a trend, but my mistake is that I never take a note on my process for learning. That is my mistakes. So actually, beside honing my skills on interview, I also take some parallel steps, also building blogs and trying to enriching my WhatsApp private repository also to support my uh, my background and enriching and also specializing my backgrounds for that. Is it very clear for that?
Yeah,
Rifki?
yeah.
Yeah.
So what I want to say is that this is something that I never read anywhere, but I've been doing it. So you can actually put a link on your resume, right? So you just select something and then put a link in it. It will become blue, and people can click it. So my imagination is like you can lead it to your repository or to your public certification, like Credly, right? So the interview will, okay, this is valid, this is very good, I see the result, the example. Okay, that's nice, that's nice, awesome. Right, so let's move to the next candidate. So Mr. Habibi, oh, Mas Habibi, I'm sorry. So which one do you want to choose?
I think he's still muted.
Yes, Mas Habibi.
I'm so sorry. Ah, Mas Agus, I think your CV is pretty good actually, but you need to update it a little bit to put your achievement in every project that you did. I think it will be good, and it will make your CV more well structured. And if you are confused sometimes what kind of project that have been brought up, you can see that those achievement in your CV actually. Maybe sometimes Mas Zainal can or Mas Rifki can open some session about updating the CV. Okay, let's continue to Mas Aditya Bintang Fadila. Mas Aditya, are you here?
Yes, hello.
Hello. Okay. So your programming language is Dart. Oh, SQL Lite. This is a mobile development, right?
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay. So what kind of industry that you are currently working with?
Okay. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Aditya Bintang. You can call me Adit, and I'm currently working for one of the logistic company in Indonesia. That's called Truku Indonesia. Truku Indonesia. Um, I've been in this company like 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. And the earlier my career, I was working for server house from Tangerang. That's called Oda Coding. And in this company, I mean in the software house, I built some apps like e-commerce, broadcast apps, something like that, and point of sales, of course. Um, um, a lot of my project on this software house, I've built using Flutter. But uh, when I'm working on this software house, when I joined this software house, I use Kotlin first. Then 6 months later, I switched to the Flutter, and then I get the real project that is like I mentioned it before, like uh, e-commerce, point of sale, broadcast app, something like that. Uh, the project that I've been um, memorizing so much on this company is e-commerce that's called Budifon. And because this is my first project on this company, and this is my project as a developer as well. Because in this project, I built this app not well structured, you know. There is no clean code or something like that, and I just remember this code of the developer this app. But during my time at this company, I'm just learning about how to solve it, how to make a logic, uh, correct logic, and the best practice way to make some feature that I've never seen before, that I've never heard before. And I'm very blessing because I've learned a lot on this company. This is my first experience on my career. And then in 2022, in March, I was resigned from this company, going to move to the Truku Indonesia, which is recently that company I'm working, and I just develop some app for logistic company, like if you know Semen Grobogan, this company is from Semarang, and yeah, I develop the apps for them, and um, the recently we built for um, logistic company mortar. What is it called in English? Like cement in cement mortar, mortar cement in Semarang as well. That's called Cipta Mortar Utama. Uh, personal, cement, cement company. That is called Cipta Mortar Utama, and we built some apps like similar like Gojek. When we have an order, the driver will get the notification from the order, and the driver can instead of the what is it in inventory or something like that, and then they can scan QR code, then and the driver can load like the cement to the another branch or something like that. And yeah, I've just built this app for these 3 years, and during these 3 years I work for this company. I built some feature like offline mode. Uh, like we know that in industry, what is it call it in in industry area, they don't have a lot of network connection, you know, like strong connection. So to solve this problem, we must build some feature that this app can running without the connection or unless connection. So I built offline mode using SKF that you've mentioned before in my CV. So when once the connection exists, the apps will be synchronized automatically. The audio will be synced into the server. Yeah, I think that's all I can say to you.
Okay. Okay. You need to train a lot on how to explain about this, you know.
Yeah,
Okay, Mas Bintang. The first thing is what I see in your CV. Please use only one language in your CV. Do not use two languages.
Oh yeah.
You say intro driver, you said saya membantu, but in the
Ah
upper
yeah.
it become a
Yeah,
mentor.
yeah.
That's
That's
very bad.
my mistake. Yeah. That's my mistake.
And then the second is about the experience. That
Mhm.
like what I said, a well-structured. You need to tell your story in a well-structured manners, and you can
Mhm.
following your CV, right? In order
Yeah.
for you to be able to explain yourself in a well-structured manner. So in your experience part and your experiences in your CV, please put the latest experience that you already have now. And then after that, the company before that, and then the company before that. In your
Okay.
CV, you put Uda coding, but you are not working on that, right? You
Yeah.
already move.
Yeah.
So put it in the last if this is this is the first time, this is the first company that you've been working with. Because you are currently working with Ruku, put Ruku at the top of the
Ah.
experience.
Okay.
And then
Got it.
after that, I'm seeing the coding, and then after
Mhm.
that, Uda coding.
Yeah.
And then you I think you already got the idea about how to explain it, but you just need to train it more. You just need to talk more about it. And then I have advice for you. Do not put too much detail about the application of the features that you are building. Don't put too much detail. I mean, they don't want to know actually the flow,
Ah.
the
Okay. Yeah.
the how this application works. Actually,
Yeah.
they usually don't want to know about it unless you are meeting your end users, and they wanted to know about and if they feels like your experience much about one of their feature, they usually want you to explain in a detailed manner. After that, you will explain. You need to explain it in a detailed manner. But if it is just a short introduction, do not put detail in the explanations.
Ah. Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Mas Einal, Mas Rifki, the CV needs to be needs to be to look at. I think it is better for us to create a session about the CV.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be very helpful. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, very nice,
Oh,
very nice.
are we able to have one more mock, or everybody already tired? It's
I think one more is okay.
one more, okay. So
Yeah.
Mas Wildan, I think. Wait, let me download your CV.
Hello.
Okay, please wait, Mas Wildan. I'm still reading your CV first.
Okay, but I'm not a developer.
Oh, it's okay.
It's
Wha-
okay.
It's okay. Just need to look at this and then look how it structures and then yeah, it's pretty okay. Okay, Mas Bildan. Let's pretend that you are applying for an opportunity in a startup company in which they are need a project manager for their products, and they need someone with 1 until 3 years experience. And yeah, I think that's all. So let's get started. Hello, Mas Wildan.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming into this interview and spare your time for us. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good, and thank you for having me for this session.
Okay, so in this session, I would like to know more about you get to know having a deep knowledge about your experience and about the industries that you've been working on and etc. So please, the time is yours. Please give a short introduction about you and your experience.
Hello everyone. My name is Wildan Azam Salahuddin. You can call me Wildan. I'm a junior product manager with over 3 years of experience in driving growth across Southeast Asia with a focus in analytic, consulting, SaaS, AI, and product management. I hold a bachelor's degree in business administration from AIU Malaysia. And in my previous role as an associate AI product manager, I have collaborated with cross-functional team to build a lot of feature. So I have delivered a lot of features. And one of the most successful feature that I've built so far, it was a regulatory ontology dashboard that the ideation came from market research and user feedback. A part of that, I also improved the speed and accuracy of our AI response time, as well as helping my company in onboarding 6 B2B clients, which contributing to potential revenue growth of almost 4,000 US dollar in monthly subscription revenue. My expertise includes market research, competitive analysis, data analysis, and product lifecycle management, supported by my technical capabilities in web development like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and my data analysis skill set like Python, Power BI, and SQL. I am passionate about leveraging technology and data uh, to leverage it and build a product that actually matter. And I believe that these qualities and my experiences will be beneficial for your company. And I believe that I can drive more impact for your team as well as your business.
I see. It's pretty good. It's already pretty good, you know. But you are not explaining about your work experience in Health Metrics, Concentrix, in Gautech, in CV Baja Karya Utama. That you are not explaining about that. So my advice for you, maybe go through, just give a introduction about what is Beja Karya Utama, what you did in there, and then in Gautech, what you did in there, Concentrix, Health Metrics, and then you can explain the last experience that you mentioned here, and then the achievement. I think it will be more interested. They will be more interested because it seems like you are not interested in your previous company at all. Actually, you are, I think you only proud with the work that you are currently did. Actually,
Actually, that's true.
I know that. But don't show it to the recruiter because they love someone who really passionate when they are working everywhere. You know, even if the company is not good, maybe you have some problems with them. Don't show it to them like that. Just tell them I've been working in Javi Baja Utama since until 2018 until 2019, and in that company I did this, I did that. Only that, just a short explanation.
Yeah, your resume is already pretty good. You just have to like cover. Okay, maybe you like your current job, you explain a lot, and then your other job, just pick one, right? Just pick one. Each one of your points is already very good. You just have to pick one and then just explain it, and go with the next. Pick one again, explain it, and yeah, that's really it. Your resume is already a very solid foundation.
Mhm,
Okay, noted. Thank
mhm.
you.
Okay,
Can
I think
I put some addition for Will Dan also?
Yeah.
please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, well, none of us always get a good company, and that's the pain point of every person actually. But you can pick the right words, the right wording, and it will have a huge impact. Let me tell you a story. Sorry for the noise. I'm on a cafe right now, and they're doing some stuff.
Yeah, that's clear. That's okay.
Yeah, okay. So
So
I
I think
have
that's all.
I have a bad experience on a company, but my I choose a bad wording. You know what I mean? So instead of pointing what is the pain point or put it on some impressions, just pinpoint of positive impact that you do to that company, even though it's bad. For example, just like what I do with my mock interview, I say that, well, actually, uh, in a bad way, I could explain that, well, actually, the stakeholder is indecisive, for example, but that's bad, right? But if I can tell the story, well, they have a dispute, but they don't agree one another. But I create a system to unify all their ideas. That will be very positive. You know what I mean? Well, then
Yeah, understood. So you try
speak in a
to,
positive way. It will have a huge impact, no matter how bad the companies that you are working for. Okay. Okay.
okay, understood. Thank you for the advice.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mas Agus. Thank you, Mas Wildan, for the answer. So yeah, what do you think, Mas Habibi? Do you still have time, or should we end the session?
I'm still have time. So if you wanted to continue, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Maybe one last time. Okay.
Okay.
I think it's Rico, right?
Okay. Mas
So yeah.
Rico,
So,
front end engineer.
Yeah,
Front end from. Oh, you are still in fishery?
yeah, I'm still efficiently.
I'm so sorry to hear about the bad news, but it is what this is. This is
Yeah.
the startup, man. You know, I've been let off by startup 2 times, twice. But
It's okay. Life
it's
must go on.
okay. Life must go on. It is what it is. Don't listen to the others. Just keep moving on. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. Let's pretend that you are applying for a job in another startup, Mas Rico. And then the job is as a full stack, not a front end engineers. And okay, let's just start with it. Good morning, Mas Rico. Thank you for having us here. How are you doing?
Good morning, Mas Riza. Thank you for having me. It's
Okay.
pleasure to be here to inviting this interview.
Okay, Mas Rico, this is the first type of the recruitment stage. So in this stage, I would like to know more and getting to know deep about you and your experience as a front-end engineer. Actually, the requirement is for a full stack, but it's okay if you are wanted to learn something. We can explain it again later. But yeah, please explain to me about your experience. Well, all of your experience and the technology stack that you are familiar with or you are currently working with, and all of the projects that you are being proud of. You can mention the project from the company that you are currently working on or from your side project. It's up to you. Just explain to us why you are very proud of it and very like working with this project. Please have your time.
Okay, thank you first of all for the opportunity. For the past 6 years, I've been working as a front end engineer, and 2 years as a full stack engineer. So, through my career, I have built in various web application, focusing on creating efficient and friendly interface. So, recently I've been interested in transitioning to full stack engineering because I want expand my backend skills and work on complete solution from end to end. You know, that's why I'm really excited about this opportunity at your company. Um, yeah. In early my career in PT Bareksa, PT Andagos Global Technology. My role is a full stack engineer. At that time, I as a junior web developer, I built various web application such as toko online, toko online, and then
E-commerce.
hospital,
You mean
yeah,
e-commerce?
like e-commerce, and then like hospital, yeah, like a hospital. I don't know what's called it. I forgot. And then at that time, I used technology like Laravel, and then Code Igniter and PHP, and then 2018, I moved into Bareksa. In Bareksa, my role is switched to front end engineer. At Bareksa, I use React.js as a main technology, and sometimes I use Next.js for application web application that require to server side rendering, and at that time I learned a lot about atomic design, because we have a lot products, Bareksa, a lot of products. One of the products that I built, the call is Bareksa Prioritas, that is a mutual platform, especially for the excellent or exclusive personal customer, like in BCA, nasabah prioritas. So at that time, I built a platform for the customer prioritas. And then 2021, I moved to e-fishery before the viral media, oh sorry, before the kasus.
Before,
Yeah,
before the fraud
yeah,
case,
sorry.
before the issue, because
Uh,
before the bad news happens, you can say it like something like that.
yeah.
Mhm.
From 2021 until now, I work in fishery almost 3.5 years. In fishery, I built a platform the call mostly in uh, cultivation squad. At that at that team, I built cultivation service such as logbook cultivation, and then pond management, farm management. One of the hardest I built is a pond scanning. The pond scanning is you scanning one of the area from the Google Maps, and then you drag the cursor, and then you should scanning of the pond of the area. You know what I mean? The result, expected result is you should be showing the numbers of pond and farm at the same time. That is one of the hardest feature that I built. So, Mas Habibi, that's all that I can explain about my journey so far. Sorry for my bad English.
No, first, don't say sorry for my bad English. This is mock interview. Just pretend that this is the real interview. Don't say you have a bad English. And the second is you forgot to mention about the proudest project that you did. You said the hardest, but hardest doesn't mean it's the most proudest, right? So you need to mention it actually. And you speaking clearly, I think it's already good and well structured actually. just need to do more training in how you wanted to say something. Like the first time you can say that if you wanted to express yourself, you are working in some company, you can just say I've been working in this company as I'm working in my role in this company is, you can say something like that. And then yeah, I think any other that I think please if I'm asking you to mention your project, you need to mention it. Don't use any other words like maybe you said this is the hardest project that you did. Maybe you are proud of it, but the hardest doesn't mean proud. You know, I have a lot of hard time when coding, but I'm not proud of it. You know, because getting hard time is not something to be proud of sometimes, like that. So I think that's all. The advice that I can give to you. Maybe Mas Rifki, you have another.
Yeah, just a little bit. You mentioned about your hardest moment. Well, you can put it on your resume instead of putting what you do there, just what you do. So the bullet points should be achievements, bragging points, or the hardest thing that you did there, instead of just what you do every day. So yeah, I think
Yeah, yeah.
that's all, right? That's all. Thank you all for coming. So if you guys have any more CV that we want to review, I think the best way is just to record yourself talking about it and send it to the group so we can give feedback.
Yes.
All right. Well, I guess that's it, right? Thanks everyone. I'll see you again on next week. Bye bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Habibi.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Hope you can learn
Okay.
these sessions, guys. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, thank you.